Hello everybody, it's BTRGamingYT.
Even the mighty fall.
I'm back at some more of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Dane treads the cobbles of God's house. In search of Christ's redemption, I hope.
Your Christ can wait his turn. It is you I've come to see.
Is that so?
When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly cometh wisdom. You know these words, and you know why I speak them.
I do. But I am not yet satisfied that you are the one for the task ahead. As Jesus said unto Thomas, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Speak the deeds of Christ in order. Only then will you cometh unto my Lord.
If I must dance to your tune, tell me where to step.
In books, one may find such wisdom. We had many in England, before the Danes burned our churches. A few yet remain nearby. Or perhaps, a more pious soul in need of charity will reward you with a lesson.
I have nothing for you now, but I will return.
Even the mighty fall. And God's servant, the Bishop Aelfred, was mighty indeed in defense of his God.
He bathed in the river, so a gentle wash brings them closer to their God. He rose from the dead, a nice trick and not easily done. Their God brings them light, just as Baldur does. Light as bright as the summer sun.
Speak the deeds of Christ in order.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River he was cleansed of all sin.
His baptism.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him when they looked among the dead.
His resurrection. Thou art weighed in the balances, and found wanting. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story, in order.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him when they looked among the dead.
His resurrection.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River he was cleansed of all sin.
His baptism. Thou art weighed in the balances, and found wanting. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story, in order.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him when they looked among the dead.
His resurrection.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River he was cleansed of all sin.
His baptism.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration. Thou art weighed in the balances, and found wanting. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story, in order.
The women came with offerings, but they could not find him.
His resurrection.
On the mountain his face shone.
His transfiguration.
God breathed on the water, and in the Jordan River he was...
His baptism. Thou art weighed in the... Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story.
What the hell?
God breathed on the water, and in the...
His baptism.
The women came with offerings.
His resurrection.
On the mountain his face shone like the sun, and he became light.
His transfiguration. Thou art weighed. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story, in order.
Blah.
On the mountain
His transfiguration.
the women came with offering.
His resurrection.
God breathed on the water and in the Jordan.
His baptism. Thou art weighed. Perhaps you should try again. Speak his story. In order.
Bro, I did this one first. I did this one. I'm so
God
confused
breathed.
His baptism.
On the mountain
His transfiguration.
the women came with
His resurrection. And Jesus said,
Here we go.
I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness. Well spoken.
other riddles done.
That is not for me to decide. For I am not the one who summoned you. If you follow, I will lead you to him.
I solved your riddle. Now all I get is silence. Who am I to meet?
Shh. Even a fool, when he keeps silent, is considered wise.
Yet men become wise by speaking with other men. They grow foolish when keeping to silence.
Hush! Your prattling offends God's ears. We're here.
Mic off.
May Christ, whose
Mic
terror
on.
scares away the foul thrones, make with me a strong covenant. Was God's lesson instructive?
I learned that your god fears death, just as mine do, just as every man does.
Yet through our Lord, we may achieve life everlasting in his glorious presence. Perhaps you missed that detail.
Do all the priests in Winchester have this same skill for drama? You risk your life, Aelfred King.
I have invited you here to speak on equal terms. Do the Dane laws of hospitality not apply in Wessex?
You gifted my Jarl to that whelp from the Order of Ancients, the warrior Fulke.
Fulke was an enemy of Wessex. But it seems someone has already removed her threat from my lands.
If you did not hear it was me, you have now.
Impressive. The Order of Ancients has surely been crippled by her loss.
How much do you know of this order?
Only this and little more. This letter, signed by one who calls himself a poor fellow soldier of Christ, warns of a plot against my life.
The gallows, the quill, the Sikhs. 3 men eager to kill you.
2 now. The Bishop Aelfred is dead.
Mic off.
Sikhs, so far as I can tell.
And a humble servant of your god. That must sting.
Still, his death has strengthened Christian fellowship in Winchester. I pray the deaths of his colleagues will do the same.
You have faced warriors like me many times before, and many times you have lost or been cheated. Why trust me now?
I have men in London and Jorvik. Men who send me reports on the rise and fall of the tides of war. Not long ago, men and women of some influence were murdered in those places. In oddly specific circumstances. When I received this letter from our poor fellow soldier, it did not take long to work out why. I don't know your motive, nor what you hope to gain. All I ask is that you finish the work you have begun, before these fallen souls infest England further.
I should let the Order kill you. It would speed our conquest of England.
You may remove the organs of state. The cancer will remain.
Then promise me a reward I can sing about. A healthy king's weight in silver.
Very well. As much as you can carry. This morning, my reeve, Goodwin, was not at his post.
A man you trust.
Goodwin was following the clues given in this letter when he disappeared.
Where was he last seen?
At his house, by the West Gate. You may find something there. Eivor, compose yourself while you are my guest. My city is not a battlefield.
Not yet, great king, but the day will come. I need to find this reeve, Goodwin. I see you, little mice.
The quill has eyes everywhere.
This is your last warning! Give me Aelfred's trinket or I'll piddle in your paw!
That Selwyn's got some stones on him arresting Aelfred's man. Who rules you?
Goodwin gone, and guards sniffing around. So where would they have taken him? Papers thrown in the fire. Goodwin covering his tracks. Other guards destroying evidence. Broken bowls, food scattered. They took him by force. There must be a garrison in the city. A violent struggle with the guards. They must have taken him to Winchester's garrison.
Woman can't slip these through. If you ever.
I should not be seen in this area.
Ring the bell! With me! Watch for my lead! You will pay! Arrow in the dog. Let's ring the bell! Flank the idiot! Press hard! Damn you!
I was starving. My baby son close to death. Would you
The
not
prisoners
steal-
might know something. I'm looking for the reeve.
Selwyn?
Bless your
Bastard
felling
said I
trees,
stole an
chiseling
apple.
rock from the
He'll
earth,
see
and
me
for
hang
what?
for it.
Not
To build
Selwyn.
more
Reeve
prisons for
Goodwin
men who
was
steal
arrested not long
apples.
ago.
This man arrested? Now that's as funny as a dose of the pox. Seems no one is free in Winchester.
Mic on.
That's what I was looking for. The key. I need this key. Key's inside here. Please be the key to open the door. Oh goodness.
Thick walls, thick guards. A place to keep a valuable man. The other side was barred. Reeve Selwyn ordered executions for petty theft and mudslinging. A husband and wife, to be carried out soon. Must be blocked from the other side.
Touching the scent here. A Dane in Winchester. These are strange times.
King Aelfred sent me, pleading from his bended knee to find someone.
I know Aelfred well enough to spot a bloody lie when I hear it. If he did send you, he was standing tall and proud.
That he was, and you are the man I've come to find, Goodwin. Do you know why?
If I had one guess, to find these heretics from the Order of Ancients, and bury them so deep, even God would need a shovel.
So where do we start digging?
My research should help us. If they haven't burned it already, it'll be somewhere nearby.
I will find your research. Now go before they find their wolf has fled his cage.
Let's regroup beyond the walls!